It's goody. What's the word? See what's up with this man Lou, man. There you go. Mello, what's good? See if Lou got that Wi-Fi. Text him. Now he needs a few minutes. Diva. Miss Diva, what's goody? Tell your brother Bo P I send my love always. That's my guy. He shakes your hand and snaps his fingers. Ref 1. I'm good. I can't complain, love. Watching my son grow. He's growing fast. Yeah, always. The dude I'm interviewing today's acting like a diva. Now he needs 5 minutes. We spoke all day on the phone. Thank you, Mr. Weaver. I appreciate that, brother. The weather's disgusting. It's humid, hot. Here we go. Mr. Guzman.
What up, big?
Here we go with the Santo Domingo Wi-Fi.
You hear me?
I hear you now, only when you talk.
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
How you been? How's the family?
Everyone's good, man. I'm down in Florida, trying to set this up. Let me see. Here we go.
Man, it's just me, bro. I'm nobody.
Nah, it's the setup. You know what I mean? I'm still in the office, that's why.
Okay. So
Yeah.
take up too much of your time, brother. I know you on a strict clock. Let's get into it really fast then. At what age did you start playing basketball?
I started playing I think when I was like eight years old in High Beach Park, right there on 175th in Amsterdam, and that rec center there.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Organized at that age or just like playing?
Nah, it was just playing, man. It was whoever had the ball, we just played 1-on-1, 5-on-5, you know what I mean? So whoever was in the park, we played.
Okay.
Look at your boy Sosa, he just tuned in.
So thank you for that call, baby bro. I figured he'd be here.
We got to get him on this next, man.
Yeah, we see. You know, I don't bother them super heavyweights, man. They doing too much. I respect their time.
It's the principle, though, man. It's getting back to
Absolutely.
the hood, man, where it all started. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. It would be greatly appreciated. So you started playing at 8, 9 years old, right?
Yeah.
When did you get into the organized aspect of basketball?
It's funny you say that. You remember Chico from Dykeman Projects?
Yes.
Dog Power. He
Yep.
kind of like took me under his wing when I was like 10 and had me playing against like the Gauchos, Riverside. This is when it was called Dykeman Bulldogs, I believe, at the time.
Yeah.
It was him and Carl Wayne and what was his the old guy's name? He's like a vet, Mr. Couch.
Yes, sir.
So it was those guys that exposed me to, like, playing the proper way.
Okay. And did the point guard thing, was it something you wanted to do, or is it just how you evolved as a basketball player?
It was something that I evolved as a basketball player. Even though when I was growing up in the heights, I played the point guard, but I was always a scorer. As time went, you start seeing your abilities and start seeing things that you can't do and you're good at. And I just, took a liking to it, a way of thinking the game. So that's that. I wasn't quick, I wasn't the most athletic, but I can get the spots, and that's what's my advantage when I played. So
Okay. So you're playing against all these other programs like the Gauchos and the Riversides. How are you faring against these kids? Because usually 9 times out of 10, those programs have the better ball players. You know what I mean? It's not like playing against your friends every day at High Bridge or anything like that. It's now you're playing against different people that you
hmm
haven't got a chance to get used to. So
hmm
how are you faring against these different programs?
so my when I was, I think, when I was 12,
Okay.
13, the Gauchos stole me from Dykeman.
Okay.
And before that, I had to make a name for myself, playing in Rucker, playing in UDC, playing in Dykeman Park. I always went against the those top teams. So I was like, man, I'm good enough to play with them, but I just haven't got exposed to it. And then when I was like 12, 13, they stole me from Dykeman. They
Okay.
recruited me, you say.
Yeah.
Started playing with the Gauchos, and my team with the Gauchos, we was like the top eighth grade team in the country. It was me, Edgar, Curtis Kelly, Terrell McKenzie, Darryl Crawford, Kashif Pratt. So, that's when, like, everything kicked off for all of us. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, New York was, like, at its best during that time. So
Yeah. And where are you going to school at this age? 12, 13, you're in junior high school.
so I went to junior high school in the Bronx called 117. It's on Mount Hope, up in the East Bronx. So that was when things got real good for me, man. I started playing competitive, So
Yep. And you were playing for the school? They had a team?
yeah, they had a team to, like, my eighth grade year, and then with the board of education, it sometimes helps, sometimes they don't. So they had it to my seventh grade, and then after that, I started playing with local teams in the neighborhood.
Okay. So getting through your junior high, where are you looking at? Because I know you and St. James and you guys all came up, very close.
hmm
Is the archdiocese something that is interesting to you, or did you want to go out of the city to play?
It's funny you say that, Drew, because where we all grew up, me, James, all of us,
Yep.
even the guys before us,
Yep.
we were kind of boxed in the
Okay.
heights. We was boxed in, and all we thought this was the world. Um,
Yep.
Me, Cash, Edgar, Curtis Kelly, we all made a pact that we was going to commit all to the same college, high school. We was
Okay.
we went to Rice, we went to St. Raymond's, we went to All Hallows, and then the last school was the high school that I went to, Paramus Catholic. We
Okay.
all made a pact that we was gonna go to the same high school, but it didn't work out like that.
All right.
I We went to on a visit to Paramus Catholic, and it was night and day, Drew. It was like Say by the Bell type,
Yeah.
on steroids, man. So I was like, man, this don't look like my neighborhood. So
Yeah.
you know, I I kind of wanted to be by my own and do my own things on my own, and that was the best decision I ever made, man. Looking back at it,
Okay. So you're playing at Paramus Catholic as a freshman. You're playing freshman basketball, JV, Vars. What we doing?
I played varsity. I played varsity as a freshman. I was killing, every top high school out there, and everybody
Yep.
was like, who's the Spanish kid. Um, but I played freshman throughout my whole 4 years. Played varsity throughout my whole 4 years. So it was a good experience. If I would have went to high school in New York, like St. Rice or St. Raymond's, I probably won't play varsity to my junior year.
Got you.
So
So how'd it go for you the freshman year?
it went well. I won North Bergen Freshman of the Year. I started getting a lot of credit A lot of teams started coming, looking at me. The New Jersey Players was like one of the top AU programs in New Jersey and the Northeast. They recruited me, and then I ended up playing with them. So after that, man, everything was like uphill from there, man. It was like smooth sailing.
So after your freshman year, you switched over to the New Jersey Players?
Yeah, yeah. But I was still going to high school in Jersey, and that's when I
Yep.
blew up. When I started playing with them, I started playing on a national level. When you talk about the top AU guys, I played before McDonald's All American, and the guys that were before me was like J.R. Smith, Kyle Lowry, Sean Singletary, those horses. So I was like always the young guy, and then the guys of my age were Wayne Ellington, Gerald Henderson, Earl Clark, Corey Stokes.
Mm.
So it was like I got an opportunity to play in front of everybody, and I feel like if I was still in New York, it would have been it would have been a different story.
Okay, got you. Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. So you have a great freshman year. You go and you start playing with the New Jersey Players. So
Hmm.
now, like you said, you're playing with these All-American, and you're just as good as everybody around you. You're playing solid basketball. You're super young. You know what I mean? So coming into your sophomore year, how are you approaching the season, knowing that you're already on the varsity team?
So that summer going into my sophomore year, I just balled out. You know what I mean? I went to every AU program, every AU tournament,
Okay,
and I got invited to Dealers All American camp, and I finished I think 34th in the country my sophomore year.
nice.
And that right there was like I started getting all these like all these looks from like different colleges.
Okay.
So that right there just gave me confidence going into my sophomore year to like kill
Yep.
everybody because I did it on a national level. So
Okay.
yeah,
And how did you guys do your sophomore year?
it's funny you say that, Drew. Man, we was always at the borderline, man, but we never could get over the hump. We always had some type of distraction. Somebody fell out. In high school I didn't win anything.
Okay.
But I was the all-time leading scorer at my high school.
I was,
But
yeah.
that was only my biggest regret, Drew, not winning in high school.
Okay. So, what was your most productive year in high school?
It was my senior year. Senior year.
Why so?
Because I was, it was all me. You know what I mean? And I was forced to be a leader and be a captain, and wrap my hand around these other guys that didn't know what it takes to win or to compete.
Okay.
So that right there just instilled some leadership in me. And I think my senior year I averaged like 19 points a game, and we only lost like 7 games, I think it was.
Okay.
But it was like it was because I was getting ready for college.
Yes, sir.
So
How was that recruiting process for you? Because you're killing on every level. You're killing in school. You're killing in AAU. You're around the All Americans. Excuse me. So even if they're coming to see them, they're getting a 2-for-1 because you're putting on the show everywhere you're going at this point.
it
So
was
what was that like for you?
it was amazing, man. I enjoyed it because in my AU season, I was around these four McDonald's All American,
Yep.
and I was the point guard on that team. So
Exactly.
so Coach K, uh, all the big time coaches, Patino, all these guys, all the NBA scouts, they used to come to watch the game. So I was the point guard on that team. So all I
Yep.
had to do was just get the ball to those guys and knock down the open shot. But the recruiting process, like guys like Lou Flores and guys that done it before, Ricardo Greer,
Yep.
that been through the trenches,
Yep.
kind of mold me and help me.
Okay.
And I think, me being on this side of coaching now, I see, where some guys sometimes get distracted. They want to go to a high school and it doesn't work out. You know what I'm saying? Like, for
Yep.
example, like I was being recruited by all the low majors and the high majors. And I went
Okay.
mid-major, you know what I'm saying? Because Temple was the right fit for me. You know what I'm saying? So if
Gotcha.
if I would have went to like a high major, I probably, would have had to not I won't play till my junior year. So
And you were recruited by Chaney.
correct, correct, correct.
That's big in itself. That's a
So
legendary Hall of Fame man right there. You know what I mean? So, you
well,
know.
when he
You don't
called
you
when
don't
he
poke your chest out, but I'll talk some shit for you. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
Because that's big, man.
yeah.
That's a big deal, bro.
Yeah,
You know,
he you know, when he called and I told my parents, man, my parents were like, who's that? You know, he was like, he's a Hall of Fame coach.
yep.
And you know, I'm his last recruit, Drew. You
Yeah.
know, so I'm part of his legacy. Even though I you know, I never got the chance to play for him, but I go down the books as his last recruit.
That's a fact, brother. That's a
So
fact. He wanted you there. So you
yeah,
know what I mean? You must have been pretty good.
yeah.
So let's get to Temple. How your freshman campaign go?
It was so tough, Drew. It was tough because you know, you're coming from a top AU program. You know, you guys a lot of like people started noticing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And some guys get confused because they think like it's the same. It's gonna be the same in high school where you know you can play through your mistakes.
Yeah.
So when I got there, you know, Fran Dunphy took the job. Was a new
Mhm.
coach. So
Yeah.
I was kind of like a step brother or a step recruit because
Okay.
he you know he didn't recruit me.
Yeah.
So I stood there. You know, I was top 5 freshman coming in the conference. I didn't see the floor, Drew. I didn't see the floor. I didn't play like 7 minutes the whole season, and it was towards the end. And I remember me and you had this conversation back in the days. I was like, Drew, I'm frustrated, man. Like I want to play, I want to play.
Yeah.
And you know, you told me to like stay with it, and it worked out, man. It worked out for the best. So
Absolutely. You was tight because I remember.
yeah, man, yeah. And then we won like 12 games and
Yeah.
lost like 18.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
yeah,
So that's all. Okay. So let me ask you this: going through that freshman year that you went through, what kind of work are you putting in this in that summer so that when you go back, he has no choice but to leave you out there?
it was just the dog in me, man. You know, the dog in me, and coming from New York City and not letting my parents down, and you know, I wanted to play, man. So that summer, I think we went to Louisville. It was me, Edgar, James, um, Kevin. We all wanted to be there, and we worked out with at Louisville,
Okay.
and we was doing 3-a-days. You know what I'm saying? Like we used to do the pool workouts, you know, lift in the afternoon and get shot in the nighttime. So it was like it was grind time. You know what I mean? Like we didn't have the distraction now, like IG and you know doing it for likes and all that stuff. It was a grind, man. And that summer, I think all of us, man, James, me, and Edgar had a great year. I mean, I think that was the year that Edgar blew up too, and James did his thing too. So you know, it worked out because we all pushed each other. You
Yeah.
know.
So going back to school, you're feeling good. Your confidence is up in your game because you know how much better you got over the summer.
hmm
Talk about how that sophomore campaign goes for you.
So that sophomore year, I didn't play the first 3 games.
Okay.
So I'm like, damn, coach, like, you know, I'm ready, man. You know, I'm ready. You know, the team is losing, and then there was a game versus Providence in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
He just gave me a chance,
Mm-hmm.
and when he gave me that chance, man, like I just ran with it. We ended up winning like five, like the thing was like 10 straight.
Okay.
And then from there, you know, we ended up winning the A10 championship, played Michigan State in NCAA tournament. But it was like I just needed the opportunity, and then I got it, and that's all she wrote, man.
So as a sophomore, right? You're what, 18, 19?
19, 19.
19? And you take the A10 for the first time.
It was
What was that? What was that like getting on the court for that championship game?
it was dope. It was dope, Drew, because like you know, you go from struggling, not playing, and you know,
Exactly.
and seeing your team struggle, and you're like, I know I can help my team. I know I can help my team. To the
Yep.
following year, have the opportunity on national TV to you know to win that game. You know what I'm saying? So it was I mean anything in life, man, is a roller coaster, man. And I think God was trying to was getting me ready for that battle. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So when that happened, man, I remember like you know it was big, man, because Temple didn't win like in 9 years because they had like a bad 10-year run since
Okay.
towards the end of Chaney's career. So like that right there put Temple back on the map.
Yeah.
So
And you were a part of that.
I was a part of that. I was a part
A
of
major
that. Yeah.
part. Talk about that first NCAA tournament experience? Because that's different.
I remember, when Lou Flores made it, everybody in the community was excited. Like, oh
Yes, sir.
man, like, yo, Lou's playing Florida, man. You know what I'm saying? So that right there kind of put that in my back. Like, oh man, here I am at the Pepsi Center where Carmelo playing
Yeah.
Michigan State, and it took me a while to like absorb it. I'm like, man, like I'm really here.
Yep.
And they was a better team there. I think they had like 4 pros that went to the NBA, but it was like, we did it, and then the following year was like, all right, we can do it again.
That's what I
So,
want to ask you. Going
mhm.
back, coming off of that, going back to school for that junior year, you already, I already know
Mhm. Mhm.
what's on your mind, but where are you taking it? Like you already have yourself. We're winning this.
Yeah.
Felt you
Mhm.
had the team for that, and you knew that you would go back.
Yeah, we knew, Drew, because we did it because I think we was picked last in the conference, and the whole team was coming back. You
Okay.
know what I mean? And
Yep.
we had Deontay Christmas and Mark Tyndale. Deontay Christmas was like the best shooter at Temple.
Mm-hmm.
I had those two guys, and it's something that remember when I talked about when I was on AAU, I had two McDonald's Americans on the wings that
Yep.
made my job easier.
Yeah.
And then, we ended up signing LaVoy Allen, I think, that year too, where, he was a NBA draft pick. So things change, having those two guys, the 1-2 punch, it was easy, man, because, one can shoot and one can drive. So it was just pick your poison.
Yeah. Absolutely. And how the junior year go for you?
It was a roller coaster because the first 10 games I led the country in assists,
Okay.
and then we signed a player named Juan Fernandez from Argentina. He was a
Mm-hmm.
point guard. He kind of joined the team halfway through the second semester.
Yep.
So my playing time was off a little bit because he was a 6'4" point guard
Okay.
coming from Argentina. So like my minutes, I went from leading the country in assists the first 10 games to like just being a role player my junior year. But every time when the things got tough, my coach put me in the game because he knew I was gonna deliver.
Did it affect you mentally? And did
Of
it affect
course,
you?
of course, of course, Drew, of course, because I went from not playing to starting
Yep.
to starting
Yep.
to coming off the bench. So it was like it kind of humbled me. You know what I mean? I didn't get too excited. I
Yep.
didn't get too up. I just kept working, put my head down, and just wait for the opportunity. You know what I mean? If I would have went to like a low Division 1 school, I would you know, probably had every record. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I went somewhere where I fit.
Yes. And how'd y'all do that year?
We won. I think we was 18-12.
Okay.
We won the conference. We beat St. Joe's, and we played in the NCAA tournament. We played what's his guy name from Houston with the beard? James Harden. We played him in the first
Okay.
round.
State.
Yeah, the first round.
Okay. So coming home for that summer, seeing how the season was rocky, you're going back for your senior year, right?
Yeah.
What's the mindset for you? Because this is the last go round. You know what I mean? After
Yeah.
this, we got to go get that money.
It was
So how'd that go for you?
it was tough, Drew, because as a 18 or 19, you think you know everything, but you don't. You know what I mean? And I
Yep.
think having good mentors and that been through it and that can steer you the right way can help you. So that senior year, man, it was one of those summers that I worked twice as hard.
Okay.
And how other people, hey, you should transfer, you should go to this school, you should go to that school. But I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
no, I never been a quitter, Drew. Like whenever I put my mind to something, I see that to the end that it worked out. So
Absolutely.
so that summer, man, it was grind time. It was. I think we worked out 4 times, man. Like we used to go to Manhattan College, a group of us play pickup.
Yeah.
It was a grind, man. It was a grind. It was a grind.
And how did it pay off in the season?
So So my senior year, I graduated in 3.5 years. Got my bachelor's 3.5 years. It hasn't been done in Temple like in a long time.
Okay.
Um, we was finished. We ranked 12 by ESPN and the coaches poll. We was ranked 12 in the country. We won 29 games, only lost 6. We won the Big Five. We beat Villanova, that was ranked 3rd in the country. We won the regular season A10 conference championship and the regular season.
Okay.
So it was like the most beautiful basketball Temple ever had. But the only thing it was short change because we didn't win a game in the NCAA tournament.
Got you.
So
Got you. Okay. I hear you. I hear you. So, what are you thinking once your season is over? Which you didn't win a game in the NCAA tournament, but you got 3 Atlantic 10 championships.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like you left your mark in college basketball. You're in the books. You could Google that shit. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
Like you
yeah.
you you went to college and it might not have gone the way you wanted it to go all the time, but at the end of the day, you left a winner
Yep, yep,
and a major contributing factor to why that program turned around and started winning.
yep, yep.
So, I salute you for that, and I always have, bro, because
hmm
not everybody's going to go to college and put up the numbers they want, but not everybody goes to college and wins.
hmm hmm
You know what I'm saying? And not everybody had a hand in the winning.
Yep, yep.
You feel me? So I've always respected that about you, Lou, man.
Eh,
Like you know how to play through whatever they put in front of you. You know
Yep,
what I mean? Even when you was hurt, I
yep,
saw you get up, lace him up, and say, "No, come, please, let me play."
yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? You don't let anything stop you, and
yeah.
and that's what's up. You know what I mean?
And and I appreciate that, Drew. It means a lot coming for you, man, because you always been my big brother, man, and I remember through those trials of the back injury and all that stuff, man. You was there, but Drew, like one thing that I noticed with winning teams, man, and winning organization is like it's not one guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Never,
it's yeah, the guy gets the credit for performance, but it's a group of men. You know what I mean? That
absolutely,
sacrifice, and
absolutely,
that's the thing that people get sidetracked with numbers and winning. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
yep,
to be honest, Drew, like my senior year, Lavoy Allen was an NBA draft pick, and he only averaged like 9 points.
yeah,
So we had about 8 guys that averaged from 5 points to 10 points,
yeah.
and we won 29 games. You know what I'm saying?
It's just
So,
it's different. College is different in the aspect that in high school you'll be the man on your team.
hmm
Schultz will be the man on his team. James will be the man on his team. But when y'all go to college, everybody was the man on their team too.
exactly,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
So
So
it's called sacrificing for the greater of the group, man. I think that sometimes people don't take advantage of that, man. They think me being that guy, and and you never win like that, man. You never win.
nah, absolutely
hmm
not. So how like what you thinking pro right away? What we doing? Like what's
Yeah.
the mindset? Where is it that this game of basketball takes you after Temple?
So I graduate. I thought that was it. You know what I mean? You just we won the 3 chips. I'm like, all right. Here comes the money now. You know what I mean? The
Yep.
big contract. Seeing all the guys that come before me, Ricky, Cholo, Lewis, all those guys from the Heights,
Yep.
made it to the NBA, Garcia, Francisco. So now it was like our senior years got done. We put in our work. Me, James, Edgar,
Yep.
we like, all right, what's next now? So now, none of us got a whiff for the NBA. Edgar did, but, you know, there was a lot of money to be made in Europe.
Yeah.
So that summer I graduated. That last game versus Cornell, I had like this pain in my back, and I'm like, damn, what's going on, man? Like I thought it was like a muscle spasm,
Yep.
and then I get invited to the national team, and
Mm-hmm.
I just couldn't get out of bed, man. I couldn't walk, and Drew,
Yep.
that back pain is nothing to play with.
It's different.
So I went and I just I told the guys, hey, I can't go, man. I can't go to training camp. I came back home. I think I called you, Drew. Like, Drew, I remember you told me you had back problems, and I was like, Drew, I'm confused, man. I got these doctors say get surgery. I got these other guys do yoga. You know, I don't know what to do. And I remember to this day, Drew, you picked me up from my house and you took me to the I think it was 161st and Grand Concourse to that back doctor.
The doctor, yeah.
And he was like, yeah, you know, you need surgery.
Yeah.
And then, you know, think about this, Drew. I went from not playing, winning.
Yeah.
Now it's time to go overseas. Now I get hit with a back injury.
Yeah, I know.
So that year was like the most depressing year of my life, man. You know, when it was time to like, you know, play overseas and start making money, you know,
Yeah.
it didn't happen. So I got hit with that trouble. So I was out for a year, had the back surgery. Remember, you know Rob Frias, the trainer.
Yes, yes, of course. That's my man.
If it wasn't for Rob, man, I probably won't be playing right now, man.
A lot of people say
Yeah, yeah. So I had the back surgery. Rob got me right. Rob got me right to the point I was probably like in the best shape of my life. I was probably had like 7% body fat. You know, my back didn't bother me, and Rob gave me another five years of pro basketball.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So now you're back from the. First off, when you hurt yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you? No, I know you didn't want to give up, but did you think it was over?
Yeah, I thought it was over, Drew, when I got the surgery and I signed that contract to play in Slovakia in Europe.
Yeah.
I went hurt, Drew, and I'm like, damn, man, these cats are not like in your mind. You're thinking Europe is like, you know, like the NBA.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I get out there and I'm like, nah, man, this is like college basketball again, just with you know, better players.
Yeah, yeah.
So I got out there and I'm like, damn, man, it's so much money to be made out here, Drew, man. But my body didn't respond.
Yeah.
So I came back and then I you know, I thought it was done, and you know, and I had a great support system that pushed me. You know, I was depressed. I didn't want to leave the house. You know.
Do you remember what I told you when I
Yeah,
said to you,
yeah,
you're young and what you have is light. You'll get operated and you'll be back.
yeah. I remember that, Drew. But when you're going through it, you know, you
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
see it.
Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely. But I know that when people go through stuff like that, they get a lot of sympathy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing that. I let
Facts.
your moms rub your back. I let your
Facts.
dad give you a hug. Nigga, get up.
Yeah. Facts.
Dust that
Facts.
off and let's get back to it. And I knew you can get through it,
Yeah.
bro. I knew you could.
I did, Drew. I did. It was tough, man. I look back at it, man. That made me a better person, a better man, man. It humbled me more.
Yeah. Yeah. So
So
what's the first taste of this pro like healthy Lou Guzman?
so Francisco Garcia took
Yep.
me. He had this trainer in Jersey named Evan.
Okay.
And this is the same time, you know, Francisco was with Sacramento Kings. He said,
Yeah.
"Yeah, just come on, I got you. You know, I got this trainer. You know, he's gonna get you right."
Yeah.
So he got me right. I couldn't go back to Europe. You know, the contract I was getting was like pennies. So
Okay.
I couldn't go back to Europe because I was hurt the first year, so I had no numbers. So
Got you.
this is where like guys get confused. They're like, oh, you know, he plays in DR, or he plays in Latin America. It's like sometimes if you don't produce your first year out of college, it's hard to get back.
Absolutely.
So I had to go the other route, which was Latin America. I got drafted with the top team, the Leones.
Okay.
That year, I won Rookie of the Year of the National League. We won the championship. That was the lockout year, I believe. We had like 4 pros. And then from there, it's just, you know, I got back. You know what I mean? I wasn't 100% what I was, but I
Yeah.
got back to playing.
Yeah. And what was the first country you played in outside of DR?
The first country I played was Slovakia and then DR.
And then after that, you stayed in DR?
It was the DR. I played Santiago, won the championship in Santiago with Pueblo
Yeah.
Nuevo.
Yeah.
And then from there I played with the national team in the Pan Am games. And
What was that like?
it was a good experience, man, because I was the youngest guy there. You know, I wish I would have played more.
Yeah.
But you know, as you know, in DR, you know, it's you got to have your people to
Yeah.
To
Different.
but
Yeah.
anyways, and then I went to Denmark. That was
That-
like that was dope, man. That was a dope experience, Drew.
Yeah.
It was dope, man. It was dope. Denmark was dope.
What was your favorite country that you got to see and play in?
Uh, my favorite country was Spain.
Yeah.
Spain, and Mongolia. I played in Asia too.
Oh yeah. How was
Yeah.
that?
It was different. It was different. Mongolia was we complain about cold in New York. Bro, that joint was negative 30 degrees, bro. You know it was negative 30 degrees?
Nah, I don't.
I was trying to get cut so I could get sent home. And and the coach wouldn't do it, man. I was like, yeah, I don't care, man. Just send me home, man. We ended up winning the championship there. I got to meet the Mongolian president, so it was a dope experience, man. They love basketball in Asia.
Okay, that's what's up.
Hmm.
I know I got you for a few more only. So talk about what life after basketball has been for you.
It's been amazing. It's been amazing, Drew, because sometimes as athletes, and we get stuck with just being an athlete.
Hold on. Don't say this humbly. Talk your
Hmm.
shit because your resume is crazy. So stop playing.
No, it's
Lou,
no,
say it with your chest, man.
no, I know, Drew, but I don't like talking like that, Drew,
Nah,
man.
but
It's
I'm
just,
asking you to
yeah,
go through what you've
okay,
been able to accomplish since
okay.
you put down the basketball as a player.
So when I got done playing in Spain, I knew I was done. You know what I mean? Like my
Okay.
back gave out again.
Yeah.
Um, I was on a plane. I was thinking about like, damn, I come back home. People going to think that, I failed, or I'm not good enough. But I had an injury, and that
Yep.
injury was a blessing.
Yeah.
Um, I came back and I called my college coach. I'm done playing. I don't know what to do now in my life. What's next?
Yeah.
He's like, Lou, come back and get your master's degree at Temple and learn how to be a coach.
Mm.
And I'm like, nah, man. Like, being a coach when you like 21, 24, you're like, no,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
no.
It sound like an option.
Yeah, I'm like, no, coach. I rather work in Wall Street or doing something else.
Yeah.
And it was the best decision I made, Drew, because I ended up getting my master's for free.
Yep.
I interned for the Phillies baseball team. I got to work under one of the best college coaches. And I met a lot of amazing people, man, that opened my mind to like different things besides basketball.
Got-
The business side of it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So there, we won the American regular season. My first year as a GA. I graduated, and then so many opportunities opened up from that, Drew. So
Like,
many. I went back to where I was born and raised, and I was able to do a tournament. You know what I mean?
yes.
And that's something that I take a lot of pride in. Me and my father,
Yep.
because like where we come from, Drew. It's like a box, man. It's hard to get out. You
Absolutely.
know, and
Absolutely.
and sometimes people get focused in the things that don't really matter, Drew. You know what I'm saying? Like the material things and and
Yeah.
and the, and the
Most of the time.
cars and image,
Mhm.
and that doesn't mean anything, man.
At
Um,
all.
I was able to make an impact in the community. You know what I mean?
Have.
And we got about 60 teams that we help the
Hmm.
community, and I was able to reconnect with all my friends that I've been away.
Yep.
Um, from there, I took a job at Ryder as a player development coach.
Yes, sir.
Um, and in the nighttime, I worked at the NBA league office. So I had 3 jobs in that year.
Talk
I,
your talk.
I was all over the place, Drew. I was all over
Yes,
the
sir.
place. But it was a setup. I was setting myself up for the next big thing. And
Yes.
then the national team came about. They asked me if I wanted to be a part of the national team as a video coordinator. And I said,
Okay.
yeah. You know what I mean? I took that, and then it was history from there, Drew.
Go ahead, man. Stop playing, Lou.
so Um, at Ryder, we won the MAC regular season.
Go ahead.
We didn't make it to the NCAA tournament, but we made it to the NIT.
Okay.
That hasn't never been done at Ryder.
Okay.
So everywhere I've been, I've made an impact to win. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's me or whatever's is in my DNA. I
It's coincidence.
It's a coincidence.
It ain't that.
You know. So then, you know, we from there I go back to the summer. I get an opportunity at Monroe College, junior college, in New Rochelle. You
Yes.
know, it was a different aspect of basketball where it wasn't, you know, it wasn't the D1, it wasn't the NBA or the FIBA. It was the lowest possible you can be at the
Yes.
college level. You know,
Yep.
and that made a major impact in my life because it was like those kids that they was good enough to play Division 1, but
Yep.
didn't do the right thing to, you know, to go to Division 1 academically.
Yes, sir.
So there, you know, we won the regional as well.
Yep.
You know, and we won. I think we won the conference too. So, and then from there, Drew, what happens? I get invited to the big boy national team
Yeah.
as an assistant coach. You
Yes.
know, it was the qualifying games,
Okay.
and that took two years to make, and we did it. We qualified DR for the World Games that happened last year in China.
That's up.
So then from Monroe, what happens? I get this opportunity here
Where's here?
at Stetson.
There you go.
So I went from being the player development coach
Yep.
to being an assistant coach
Yep.
to working at the league office to being a
Yep.
commissioner
Yep.
to being assistant coach in the World Games
Yep.
to now being in the administrative role as director of operations. So, you know, that's all the aspect of the sport of basketball that I think I have touched at some point in my life.
Absolutely. And we appreciate you for your services. The game of basketball is better. It's a better play.
Yeah, man. So now at Stetson, Drew, this last year, you know,
Yeah.
you know, the coaching staff here did a great job, man. We this school has never won anything. They haven't won, haven't a winning season like in 30 years.
Got you.
So I came here with a great staff. The head coach is Donnie Jones. He was an assistant coach at Florida when they won the back-to-back. Remember with Noah and Al
Oh,
Horford?
yeah, Al Horford and them.
Yeah,
Corey Short.
he was an assistant there, and then he was the head coach at UCF, and then he was an assistant at Dayton. So I come to work on as a humble dude to work under him, a guy that won 2 national championships. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
he know what greatness looks like. And then we have another coach called Brandon Sir, who was an assistant coach of the Pistons when they won the back-to-back in the 80s. And remember Isaiah Thomas in the bad boy era?
Yes, sir.
So, you know, and he also was a director of scouting and assistant coach for the Dream Team.
Okay.
So I get to work with those two guys, man. Like and Drew, and I think I'm like the most, you know, it's amazing, Drew, that I get to work. I come to work and I work on those two guys because that's incredible, man. Like to get a chance to work with two guys like that is
Yeah.
unheard of,
The
and
blessing.
it's a blessing. It's a blessing because I'm learning from the game from those guys that have so much basketball.
Exactly. Exactly.
And then this year we won 16 games with a team that was picked last.
Got you.
So we made it to the postseason. This school has never made it. So
Nice.
it's gonna be the school in Florida, and I'm saying this now, Drew. Remember, write this down. It's gonna be the school in Florida in the next couple of years.
Say that. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Blessings, brother. They asked you a question, Coach Guzman. What's your workout regimen been like during the quarantine?
It's been tough, man. I can't get in the gym. I've been running. I've been doing yoga, pull up, just to stay in shape, man. Because the older you get, man, the harder it is.
I seen your
So,
post. You looking like you my age. You better cut it out. Stop playing.
Drew, I can't jump no more, man. Like my back is shot, man. So I try to do things that to keep me fit, man. Because it's hard to like stay up with these guys, man. These
Yeah, you
guys are
gotta
young,
be
so
active. That's a fact,
you
man.
know.
That's a fact. My son is gonna start walking soon, so you
Yeah,
already know.
That's a
I got
blessing, man.
I got to start eating sea moss.
and and then some of the guys, they talk like, "Hey, Luz, Coach Guzman, I'll kick your ass," and I'm like, "Okay, hold up." But back in my mind, I'm like, "You probably could right now, man." So
You're a
yeah,
few
man.
years too late for this ass whooping. I would
Yeah, 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 man. Yeah. So, but yeah, Drew, man, it's been a blessing, man, and like what I'm trying to do in our community is just make an impact to the next generation, man. To see that if I could do it, man, anybody could do it, man, and it just takes hard work, Drew. You know what I mean?
gotta
And not,
want. Everybody doesn't want to help. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to do things to be acknowledged and so people can like their shit and like their pictures. But
Mm-hmm.
like, what are you really doing it for? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It gotta be within, brother. And
Yep.
you've always had that, bro. You've always had that. And I'm
Yeah, man.
proud of you. I really do, man.
Drew, I remember, man. I remember I was in Dykeman, right? And like I wanted to play, man. But my back wasn't right, and I was like, Drew, man, like my back ain't right, man. And the crowd was there, and I was like, Drew, like just give me a jersey, man. And I got, I was in pain, man, because it was concrete. But I remember that, Drew. You gave me a jersey, man. I always respect that, man.
And everybody was telling me I'm bugging.
Yeah, because
Everybody was telling me I'm bugging.
because Drew, you know what it is, Drew. Like I was never one-on-one player, man. Like
It
you know what
don't
I mean,
matter. You
like.
know how to play basketball, bro.
And that's the thing, that's the thing that, I was never like, I ain't had to crossover, but at the end of the game, I'll have 12 points, 10 assists, 9 rebounds, four fouls, and a
Listen,
dub. You know what I mean?
you know how to
So
play basketball, and I wasn't gonna let you not walk in that park and not.
look at the Mike, man. DP said, "What's up? What's up, baby?"
Nah, Goose, I know you got stuff to do, brother, and I appreciate you. I took you a couple of minutes over the time you agreed to, but I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, Lou. It's always love for you, my nigga. You know that.
Anytime, Drew, you like my big brother, man. Anytime I can help, man, just shoot me a text, man. I got your back, brother.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you for your time, Lou.
Anytime, brother.
You already know, my nigga.
All right, bye.
Easy. Lou Guzman on the run. I got Randy Mello tomorrow, 84th Street. Rue Andy, the youngster. And I got Al Shep after that, the following day. So Randy tomorrow and Al Shep Wednesday. Thank y'all for signing in. You already know. You tune in or you losing.